Through Nigerian social media, you've definitely encountered the endless drama that is Regina Daniels and Ned Nwoko's marriage. It's like every time you think people have moved on, someone drops a new take and the internet catches fire again. This union has sparked more debates than a Nigerian presidential election. Emotions run high, Twitter fingers go wild, and WhatsApp aunties forward voice notes with enough passion to start a revolution. Then came the first signs of trouble. Regina had once been First Lady of Ned's Grand Empire, suddenly stopped attending his famous outings. The couple that once twined in marching outfits were now more distant than a Nigerian pastor and short Sunday service. To make matters worse, a certain Chika Ike entered the chat, surfaced that the seasoned Nollywood actress was allegedly set to join Ned's ever-growing list of wives, and if that wasn't enough, she had just announced her pregnancy without revealing the father's identity. The streets of Instagram went wild. Regina's next moves were equivalent of deleting all your couple pictures after a breakup, but adding small drama to the effect. She deactivated her Instagram and went into digital hiding, only to return later with a cleaner page. Gone were the endless romantic pictures with Ned. Her bio no longer carried his name like a badge of honor. And suddenly, everyone knew it was happening. The queen was packing her bags, and even her elder brother decided to sprinkle some extra fuel by welcoming her back to their family house. Meanwhile, Layla, Regina's Moroccan co-wife, was busy serving premium content. She started posting pictures of herself and Ned looking happier than a jollof rice pot at a wedding party. If there was ever a winner in this polygamous showdown, Layla was holding the trophy high. And to truly drive the point home, the famous red Ferrari, yes, the same car Regina once paraded like her personal chariot, was now being flaunted by Layla. As far as the fans were concerned, it was over. But before we dive into this Nollywood level drama, let me remind you to hit the like button to like this video. If you are new here, whether this is your first time stumbling upon this gist or you've been a silent observer, it's time to join the party. Drop a comment to indicate your presence and let's get into this gist properly. Now let's take a step back and break down how this whole saga started. Regina marriage. Once upon a time in the bustling world of Nollywood, a young and vibrant actress, Regina Daniels, caught the eye of a billionaire, politician, and proud collector of wives, Prince Ned Nwoko. Their union was the kind of story that could only happen in a place where scripts sometimes write themselves. Regina Daniels wasn't new to the fame before her marriage. She started acting as a child under the watchful eye of her mother, Rita Daniels, who was determined to make her a star, and it worked. She became one of the most sought-after young actresses in Nollywood, with fans loving her cute face and innocent roles. She was the ultimate Nollywood sweetheart. Then, out of nowhere, bam, the news broke that Regina had married Senator Ned Nwoko, a billionaire businessman and politician with multiple wives. The internet went into meltdown mode. Regina, the teenage actress everyone adored, had suddenly jumped from playing secondary school roles to being addressed as Madam Billionaire. People were shook. Was this love, or was this the ultimate bag-securing move? Was Regina in love with Ned, or was she in love with the private jets, designer bags, and vacation homes? Regina, born in February 2000, was barely 18 when news broke that she was engaged to 58-year-old Senator Ned Nwoko. The relationship started in the most Nollywood way possible. One day, Regina, her mother, and her siblings visited Ned's mansion in Delta State for sightseeing, and boom, next thing we knew, wedding bells were ringing. Ned himself admitted in an interview, "I met her the first time when she came to my house with her mother and siblings because my place in Delta is a tourist attraction. They came to look around and I liked her, and that was it." So it was a museum tour that turned into marriage. Love truly works in mysterious ways. 6 months after she turned 18, Ned performed a traditional marriage rite. Regina's mother, in her full glory, handed over her daughter like she was transferring property ownership. Regina Daniels, a young Nollywood actress, went from playing teenage roles to suddenly becoming the wife of a billionaire senator old enough to be her father. Actually, more like her grandfather. But hey, as Nigerians say, love is blind. In this case, it also wears designer shades, flies private jets, and lands on exotic islands. Before Nigerians could digest the news, Regina had already given birth to a son, whom she named Monera, aka Money. 2 years later, she gave birth to another son. The baby factory was running efficiently. Some people immediately crowned Regina as a genius. In their eyes, she had just given every young woman a masterclass in how to marry well. The phrase, "Not only Regina Daniels fit advise me," became a whole movement. To them, she was proof that a woman doesn't need to suffer with a struggling man in the name of love when she can marry a ready-made billionaire and enjoy life. These fans pointed out that while some girls were struggling to build with a broke boyfriend, Regina had built herself a mansion with a rich husband. She wasn't managing pure water business with a struggling man. She was drinking imported champagne while lounging in the Maldives. The crack in her marriage: at the time Regina entered Ned's home, his Moroccan wife, Layla, was the only woman actively in the picture. Layla had been married to Ned since 2010 and had 4 children. She had spent a decade being the invincible, low-key, well-mannered wife who wore hijabs and drank tea in peace. Then Regina happened. Regina Daniels was a Gen Z actress, social media guru, and content creator. Her marriage wasn't just a union, it was a brand. She plastered her love story all over social media, making it seem like she was the only wife. At first, everything seemed peaceful between Regina and Layla. Regina was the new wife, the one getting all the attention, but Layla played it cool. She had been in the game long enough to know that the excitement phase would eventually wear off. But Regina did something different from other wives. She took over social media. While Ned's other wives kept things private, Regina was out there posting their luxurious life for the world to see. She was flaunting trips, gifts, vacations, and fancy cars, making it clear that she was the queen of the kingdom. Private jet photos posted, golf course dates uploaded, romantic boat rides shared. My husband, my king, my sugar, my honey. It wasn't long before Layla started to feel the heat. She had been in the marriage for 10 years, but now she was looking like an extra in Regina's main movie. The insecurity kicked in. She probably thought, is this my marriage or a reality TV show? And so she left. Layla, who had been the favorite wife before Regina entered the picture and started feeling sidelined, and then just like that, boom, Layla packed her bags and returned to Morocco. She even went online to say she had been treated badly in the marriage, making shocking allegations that Ned had abandoned her and her children. She claimed she was struggling to get funds while all attention and resources were being channeled to Regina. The internet exploded. Some Nigerians shouted, "Regina has chased Layla away." Others said Layla has freed herself from bondage. Either way, the house was no longer at ease. For a while, Layla stayed in Morocco, seemingly done with Ned or for good. But then, out of nowhere, another plot twist. She returned to Nigeria and to Ned's house. This was when things got really messy. It became clear that even a billionaire's home, polygamy was not all rosy. The Great Comeback and the Silent War. After some time, Layla had a rethink. Maybe it was advice from family, maybe it was her children, or maybe she just missed her luxurious lifestyle. Whatever the case, she returned to Ned's house to reclaim her position. Her return sparked an unspoken Cold War. Regina and Layla put on a public display of fake friendship. Love you, Layla. Love you too, Regina. But Nigerians weren't fooled. Behind closed doors, there was bound to be tension. The final straw happened when Regina celebrated her 5th wedding anniversary with Ned. She posted romantic photos and videos showering praises on her husband. Layla, out of respect or pressure, commented, "Happy anniversary." A few months later, it was Layla's own 15th anniversary with Ned. She waited, probably expecting Regina to step aside and let her enjoy her moment. Instead, Regina kept posting her usual content, private dinners, vacations, and expensive gifts. It was like she didn't even acknowledge Layla's milestone. That was it. Layla snapped. She stormed social media, posting cryptic messages and expressing her frustration. She threw shade, made indirect comments, and subtly let the world know she wasn't happy. Regina, on the other hand, pretended not to notice, but we knew the game had officially begun.